Welcome back to Roots and Reflections. My name is Grace and I'm here with my co-host,
Bhavya.
Today we're kicking off a new series called Pressure Points, and today's topic is balancing school and mental health. So, between exams, homework, tests, and even if you have a job, it can be very overwhelming. So, Bhavya, what do you have to balance and how do you overcome that?
Honestly, I used to be really burnt out by my midterm exams and just so many tests coming up, such as AP exams that are right around the corner. Personally, I learned that it's important to prioritize your grades and your well-being at the same time. It's really nice to have a good balance between both of them.
Yeah, I agree. I also have AP tests coming up, and so I'm a current senior. We're both seniors, but last year we both took AP tests as well, and it was around May. For me, I had 4 AP tests, so it was really stressful for me. And I think I started studying in like February or March, but I would try to study for at least an hour or two every single day. And so that's how I really balanced. I planned ahead, and so instead of just starting to study in April when the tests are in May, studying earlier really helped me, and it helped me feel less stressed, especially when the AP tests were coming up. How did you do it last year?
Yeah, so last year when AP tests were coming up, I would say in the beginning, like any normal student, I started procrastinating studying for my tests. April was approaching and I realized that I hadn't touched a single textbook.
Gosh.
It was kind of bad. But then I realized that instead of freaking out and trying to last minute study everything, which wouldn't stick in my mind, I kind of split up what I need to know for the test. So I went to AP Classroom, I saw the units were divided, and I assigned a specific number of videos for every single day, and that's how I kind of learned what I needed to for my tests.
Yeah, that's amazing. So the results were I did well on my tests, and I do recommend planning ahead. Yeah, how'd you do?
I did good too.
So this year, are you taking any tests?
Yeah, so this year, even though it is senior year, I'm taking 4 AP tests.
Nice. I'm taking a few as well, and even though senioritis is hitting the both of us, we're still going to push through because, you know, the sky's the limit and you should never limit yourself. That's what our mentor always tells us for this podcast. So, do you want to talk about some like key tips other than just planning ahead? Like what else we learned?
So personally, I learned that you don't really need perfection. A lot of the times, you know, kids our age, it's really easy to kind of want a very specific score or want a very specific outcome. And for that, whenever you start studying and you realize that, wait, I might not end up doing well, you start procrastinating it more, putting it to the side, hoping that it'll go away. But the thing is, sadly, tests and stuff, the due dates come up real quick. So,
it's inevitable.
Yeah, it'll come up one point. So instead of trying to have a perfect plan every single day, just getting through a little bit like of a project or studying for a test every single day will really help you in the long run, way more than cramming last minute.
Yeah.
So now that we went over a tip that I had, what do you think, Grace?
Yeah, so I actually feel the same. I learned this thing called the 80-20 rule. 100% of the time, you do not have to go 100%. Most of the time, enough is just 80%. And I saw this study done by Clear Fork Academy in which you understand the connection between school stress and mental health. And studies have shown that too much pressure on kids is reported as the #1 external influence for developing anxiety. And I definitely see the connection. I know a lot of people that have anxiety because they're either putting too much on themselves, taking too many classes, or just procrastinating and having to do a lot of work in a little amount of time. So that's definitely not what you should do.
Yeah. I totally agree. Leaving things to the last minute can really cause a lot of stress and anxiety. Specifically for me, I've seen within my virtual classes, I've tended to leave things to the last moment, and it really puts a lot of stress and pressure on me to do a lot and get a really good score in a really small amount of time. So I would really recommend to just get a little bit done instead of being perfect.
Yeah.
Another tip I have is to appreciate the small wins. A lot of times we're just trying to get a whole project done, we're just trying to study for a big test, and we forget that we're human beings and we need a little bit of rewarding. So if you study, like for an AP test coming up, if you do that 1 hour of studying today and a 1 hour of study tomorrow, give yourself a small reward. You can reward yourself with a little bit of screen time.
I like getting ice cream.
That's a great
I love
reward
getting
as well.
ice cream.
I reward myself by going out with my friends and eating at restaurants. That's really fun. And just kind of appreciating the really small wins in your life can really motivate you to keep going ahead instead of just getting stuck in being scared of the next deadline.
Yeah, another thing I do is set boundaries. For example, after maybe 9 or 10 p.m., depends on the day, I say no more homework, no more electronics, no more screen time, and I leave the rest of the night up with like friends, family, hanging out. That could be watching a movie, doing some face masks and skincare because we love doing that. But I think it's important to just find what really relieves your stress and just result to that when you're feeling overwhelmed.
I totally agree. By setting boundaries, you can really give yourself some time to de-stress instead of constantly focusing on one thing. Just make sure to take your mind off of your worries and just relax.
Yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in to our first episode of the series, Pressure Points. Make sure to tune in to the next episode. Bye.